this final session is really about bringing Snorkl to your school or to your district and the ways that we can support. We have had the honor of joining and partnering with schools all over the country and actually internationally over this past school year. And we've learned a ton from that experience. And so we're excited to share with you a little bit about what we've heard from some of our partner schools over this past year. And also some of the ways that we can support you in bringing this to your school or to your campus. And so if you are a teacher, there's things for you to get out of this session, but also if you're a school leader, an instructional coach, have a lot to share with you here as well. Just really quick, if you're just joining us and you're scratching your head around what is this Snorkl thing, just a little background. One of the things that we both really believe and a lot of the folks that we work with is that our students have amazing ideas that are worthy of celebrating. We think that student thinking is rich and deserves a place in the center of the classroom. And at the same time, we know that as teachers, both Jeff and I were teachers, it's hard to get around and talk to every single student one-on-one. It's hard to know exactly how they're thinking about solving a problem or how they're responding to what we talked about in the lesson. And so we built Snorkl really in collaboration with a lot of teachers that we were talking with around how can we better support students in giving them immediate personalized feedback. And so we leverage AI, as you know, to give students that personalized feedback on their work. And really central and important to how we do that is we allow students to express the richness of their thinking through multimodal input. We give them a digital whiteboard, and we allow them to record their voice, record their drawings, record with text, and capture the richness of student thinking in all those unique ways and leverage the AI to support. I want to pause here and give you just a little bit of background on our classroom experience. And Jeff, I didn't tell you I was going to do this, but would you share maybe a little bit about your elementary school teaching experience? And I'll share a little bit about my experience teaching high school, because I think that's really foundational for how it is that we really set upon this path and where we are with Snorkl today.
Yeah, of course. So I taught elementary school, as John said. I taught 5th grade. We were out in Las Vegas, and it's funny, when I first started thinking about the idea of teaching, I was just like, oh, I have to be a high school teacher. I don't know how I could possibly teach kids like that young in elementary school. But it's funny because after getting the opportunity to teach at the elementary school level, I'm the complete opposite. I could not imagine teaching older kids. I think that those 4th and 5th graders, they're old enough to do all sorts of content, all sorts of activities, but they just bring a spirit that just is incredible. And I love that. It motivated me every day. I used a lot of I used a lot of technology in the classroom. I was always experimenting with how you can use tools in a way that was really instructionally relevant. And it's funny because like some of the things that I thought lacked at the time were a big inspiration for a lot of the ideas that we've incorporated into Snorkl, which is that, great learning, a great classroom, kids are up, they're moving, they're talking, they're using their voice to learn and to digest what they're doing. But then also in my classroom, I had kids that were brand new to country, and that's incredibly challenging. And it was just really hard to figure out, how do I create this learning experience that I'm creating for all my other students, but help them feel equally as engaged? And I mean, it was just a lot of those insights, a lot of those things. I've been out of the classroom now for a while, working as an engineer. Those are the things that stuck with me. And, when I think about my role now, I do all of the coding in the platform, which is also very fun. I think of it as if, imagine if you could just have the ability to build anything as a teacher, like what would you build? And I've tried to be like kind of that other side of teachers, that kind of engineer and person that could just translate those ideas into a working application, which is really where Snorkl is right now, I think, or at least getting there.
Yeah. I've only been out of the classroom for about 12 months. I was in the classroom, not this past school year, but the school year before that, and taught high school math. And I knew that I wanted my math class to be a place where student thinking was really at the center of what we were doing, right? Math class is not about answer getting. I want to support students to express the richness of how they're solving problems, how they're approaching the task that we're talking about. And then I want to be able to respond to it and actually validate what they're doing or give them feedback on what they're doing and correct them if they're off track. And so Snorkl came about really in an effort to do that, to capture student thinking in rich ways. and to leverage AI to give them really personalized, immediate feedback. And we do this both because we come from the classroom. We really believe that our students have rich thinking that's worth celebrating, that's worth honoring, and we know how valuable feedback can be for students, and how much time that can take for teachers. And so another one of our motivators is really, how do we make something that fits really easily into the teacher workflow and can save them a lot of time. This past year, we joined with thousands of schools across the country and even internationally now. Shout out to, if there's any folks in Singapore and South Korea, New Zealand, Peru, England, just watching this around the globe. But we've had the honor of working with schools and with teachers, getting a lot of feedback and hearing about the awesome impact that Snorkl has had on their classrooms and on learning. We heard from teachers this year that they heard more of their student thinking and more of their students' explanations than they have ever heard in the past, that they've seen in their students grow in confidence, both because they get that immediate feedback, and it's not as scary to explain something maybe to AI as it might be to have to explain to the entire class, though it's certainly good practice to prepare for something like that. And then we've also heard just about the power of that immediate feedback. Right, teachers telling us that it has allowed them to scale the amount of feedback they can give to students on really meaningful work in a way that would otherwise be impossible, and really support students in practicing their communication. So we have teachers coming to Snorkl for all of these reasons and many more. We know that Snorkl can support new to country students and English language learners, because students can record in over 50 different languages. They can also get feedback in all of those different languages as well. It encourages a growth mindset because we allow students to re-record and improve their thinking. That's something that's really important to us as former teachers. And then, of course, the saving time piece is huge. Teaching is a really demanding and complex job, and we want to support that and honor that and make a tool that's really powerful to amplify teachers' place and their impact in the classroom. The way that Snorkl works is we give teachers a digital whiteboard on which they can place a question or a prompt, and they can assign it to their students. And so we have a library of thousands of pre-created questions. We've been working hard all summer to add more content to that library. We just released Earth and Space Science last week, is it now in the library? We just released geometry content to the library, and we're constantly adding more. We're also working on adding more partnerships to create more great content there, to make that getting started process even easier. Teachers can put whatever type of question they want on that prompt. They then share it with their students, and students sign in with their Google account or their Microsoft account, and they can record their thinking, and they can show their explanation on that whiteboard. And then the AI analyzes both their whiteboard and their verbal explanation to give them personalized feedback. We've got teachers who are using this right now as a formative assessment tool, as an exit ticket, as a do first. We've got teachers who are using it as a station rotation around the classroom or as homework. And so it's really versatile and can really expand the whole K through 12 experience in any content and grade level. I am, instead of showing and doing a live demo here, I actually have a recording just for efficiency. And some of you may have seen this a little bit earlier on in our sessions today. But if you haven't seen like a walkthrough of the Snorkl platform, I want to give you just a quick 2.5-minute overview of what happens in the Snorkl platform, and then talk a little bit more about how you can bring this to your school. Welcome to Snorkl, the multimodal tool for immediate feedback on student thinking. Here's how it works. Our homepage is at snorkl.app, where teachers can sign in and create an account. From the teacher homepage, you can create classes and share activities with your students. We have a library filled with hundreds of rich pre-created activities, or teachers can quickly and easily create their own activities using their own questions or curriculum materials. When teachers share an assignment with their students, students are given a digital whiteboard on which to share and record their response. Students can show their work visually as well as explain it verbally, and Snorkl will capture the richness of their thinking and explanation. Students can record in any language, making Snorkl a really rich tool for giving all students access.
After students submit their work, our AI analyzes their explanation and provides students with personalized, time-stamped feedback on their response. In the feedback on the right-hand side, you'll see that the AI has marked the student work as correct or incorrect, given it a score on a 0 through 4 rubric, and provides students with personalized feedback unique to their strategy. We try to praise what's going right in student thinking and offer them prompting and questioning to improve their thinking, just like a great teacher would if they were able to sit down one-on-one with every student. Students can use this feedback immediately to re-record and improve their thinking and improve their response. On the teacher side, Snorkl gives teachers rich instructional insights from across the class. As students submit their responses, AI automatically categorizes the student work and attaches a label for how strong the student's explanation was. Teachers can quickly review a response by taking their cursor and scrolling over the video, or jumping in to see the actual feedback that the students got. In addition to viewing individual student work, Snorkl leverages AI to analyze the class as a whole. In the Insights tab, Snorkl gives teachers summaries of performance from across the class, including examples of top exemplars and trending errors and mistakes. We share with teachers direct qualitative descriptions of what's happening in student thinking, providing them with support and with figuring out instructional next steps. Snorkl can be leveraged with any grade level and any content area where you want students to get immediate personalized feedback. For example, we might ask students to analyze a short reading passage and answer questions about the text. Snorkl transforms learning by providing students with the kind of personalized, immediate feedback that's otherwise impossible to scale across the class. Dive in at snorkl.app.
I think one of the things that has been so fun about today for us is getting to chance to hear from so many teachers in different content areas about ways that they have leveraged Snorkl in the classroom and or are excited to leverage Snorkl in the classroom in the future. We have in Snorkl some pre-created sample assignments. And so if you haven't checked out Snorkl yourself yet, you can go to snorkl.app. You can create a free teacher account and you can try out any of our sample assignments. You can also try out anything in the library or create your own. With that free sample account, you can actually use Snorkl with your students this fall, and we're really excited to support you to do so. One of the things that we know is oftentimes a step in that process is getting Google Trusted Access enabled. And so if at your campus, if you use Google Single Sign-On, and you're going to want to reach out to your tech coach or leader to make sure that Google Trusted Access is enabled so that your students can sign in. If you need support with that at all, we are happy to support. Snorkl has really, really great privacy and security for student responses. We're iKeep Safe certified as COPA and FERPA compliant, and we're really proud of the ways that we protect student data and privacy. Also, if you have questions about that, we're happy to answer them at any time and sign a custom DPA with your school or with your district. Beyond individual teacher accounts, we also are excited to support schools and districts that are really interested in digging in and supporting their team with leveraging Snorkl this year. And so we're really excited to announce today the Snorkl pilot program for this school year. We're calling it Lighthouse Leaders. And we're calling it that because we think that there's such an important role for schools and districts to play in sort of leading the way, lighting the way for how we leverage AI in powerful ways that are really aligned with the goals we have for our students. We also know that that doesn't happen overnight. Oftentimes tech tools take some time to experiment and to build that capacity. And so we want to support schools and districts in doing exactly that. And so if you are a school leader or a district leader interested in bringing Snorkl to your school, I encourage you to apply for our pilot program, the Lighthouse Leaders Program, that you can find on our plans page right now at snorkl.app. This includes unlimited access for your teachers, your students this year, unlimited assignments, and our support in rolling it out for your campus and for your team. If you have any questions, we'd love to talk to you more about it, but we're really excited to support you in getting started and really build that capacity at your campus. One of the ways that we do that is we offer training and PD resources, both for you to share with your folks, but also happy to jump on a call with your team this fall and share Snorkl in a PD session. Our team is largely composed of former teachers, and so we get what great PD looks like, and we want to make sure that we can offer something that's engaging to your folks. We often have to invite teachers to try out Snorkl assignments in that session because we know how powerful that can be when when teachers see and experience that immediate feedback. And then also, as part of Lighthouse Leaders, we want to continue to support the schools and districts that are partnering with us. And so we have ongoing sessions and information throughout this fall and throughout the school year. That includes some webinars. We'll have different webinars this fall around different topics, supporting English language learners, leveraging Snorkl for formative assessment, mastery-based grading with Snorkl, as well as community meetings where we're inviting folks to share all the awesome resources that they are building and the ways that they are leveraging Snorkl. We have a pretty active social media community that's currently growing, and we're really excited to have you be part of that. And then as a Lighthouse Leader participant, you can also lock in some exclusive pricing for the following school year, 25-26. Jeff, anything you want to make sure that we cover here that you want to add in? I know we're super excited about this program and how it can support schools and districts with adoption. But yeah, anything you want to add in there?
No, I think you said it really well. Like you said, we're former teachers. When we get up in the morning, we think about you. We think about the job that you have to do. We think about your kids and your students and our former students. And I just want to say it's so special to be able to work with you all. And it's really quite an honor. So
yeah, I think the things that we've heard back from teachers and students this year has been really encouraging. And so it's super fun to be in conversation with you, especially as you're using the platform. We'd love to get your feedback and your insights as well as we continue to grow and expand. Once again, our website is snorkl.app, snorkl.app. There you can create a free account. You can reach out to us about a quote or bringing Snorkl to your school or your district, sign up for that pilot program for this year, and we'd love to continue the conversation with you. Thank you so much for joining us here. We've been on this call for the last 4 hours, and I don't know how there's been a lot of people here who have been on for the last 4 hours. I don't know how many of you have been here for this entire thing, but if you have, huge shout out to you, a huge thank you to you. And we're looking forward to talking to you. So if we haven't met you yet, if we haven't talked, reach out to us and we'd love to connect more. Hope that you have an awesome rest of your Tuesday on this World Snorkl Day. We are going to host more events here in the future. And of course, we'll be back for World Snorkl Day 2025. So get ready for it. All right. Thanks. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.